Good evening, good evening. It's Monday. It's sunny. It's nice and warm. Well, it is here anyway. I'm not quite sure what
It's lovely.
It's been really nice here.
Mm.
Yes. Bit strange.
Even Mercy has been nice today.
Well, I'm looking forward to Paul's catch-up. Hopefully he delivers it in some kind of medieval idiom. It should be quite good to see what we're going up with. Yes, welcome to Season 6, Episode 12 of the Plastic Crack Podcast. And tonight, we haven't done one for a while, have we? We're doing Ask the PCP, Wargaming and Hobby Q&A.
Oh, dear.
That's more like get us to say the things that you don't want to say so we get the blame.
And it's on my channel. So,
is the answer yes, no, maybe?
Yes, no, maybe. Or just go, so no one understand. But yes, we'll get to that. So we've got a good selection of questions in the Facebook group. We'll be starring questions in the live chat. And so it's going to be a nice Q&A type of evening. Before we go into that, how is everybody? How's your week been, chaps?
I've had a great week. Martin's had a shit week.
Martin's had a particularly crap week, let's be honest.
I had one of my molars removed and it did not go according to plan. When apparently my molar was part of a multi-part kit that came apart as they were extracting it. It was like Rubicon designed.
Just a Rubicon tooth.
It was a Rubicon molar. So no, it was that part, the first bit, the largest part that came out fine. It was really nice. You can see my root canal sticking out the bottom of the root. I think did I send you guys the picture?
You did. You showed us a picture.
I'll be honest.
I challenged you to turn it into a base, but you haven't done so far.
I tried to. I tried to use MS Paint to put some eyes on it.
I did that, and then they had to go digging around to get the rest of the root out, and then call in another dentist to help get the root out. So they were ferreting around in there for about 20 minutes, much to Haley's delight.
There's a lot of tutting going on and oh dear kind of stuff.
We just don't think this looks right. But yeah, other than that, it's been all right. It's been Haley.
I had my brother and sister-in-law over for the weekend, and I thought that was a bad weekend. Then you told me all about your dental things, and I thought actually, it was a really good weekend.
I think Martin's shenanigans last week tops everybody's week when it comes to crapness. That was bloody terrible.
Yeah, it was unpleasant. Let's just say that it was unpleasant to say.
It's still on the beer ban.
Yeah. I can't drink.
Even worse.
I can't drink until what day is today? Monday, obviously.
Monday.
I can't drink till Wednesday.
You can drink at Salute then.
I could drink at Salute. Yes. I'll go to Salute and just get absolutely ratted. Spend £1,000 on minis, and then come home, and then Haley can knock out the rest of my teeth for free.
I was going to say, Dom, are you allowed to drink at Salute?
Oh yeah. Compulsory, I think. The moment you walk through the door, you have to be breathalyzed, and if you're not drunk, you're not allowed in.
Well, followed by some creative purchasing that you don't remember the next day. I don't remember buying that. Right, before we get to see who's joined us tonight, a quick reminder that we are sponsored by the awesome chaps at Boards and Swords Hobbies in Derby. Enter the code PCP5 to get an extra 5% off your order when you check out through the web store. As always, if you need any help or can't find something that's on there, just drop Ian and the chaps a quick line, and I'm pretty sure they'll be able to help you out and get you the plastic or metal goodness that you are currently after. Big thank you to everyone that's watching on the catch up. Always appreciate that. Right, here we go. Like, share, subscribe. Links to channels down below. That stuff. It just feels so.
He protests so much.
I don't like doing it.
He's so good at it.
He's so pro, isn't he? Yeah.
Pro. I don't even need my list anymore. That's the thing. I used to write things down. Things I must say before we get to the weather updates. Speaking of which, let's see who's here. Glendora's here. Good evening, one and all. Long time no see. Hopefully, watching will help me get my mojo back on track. Well, I hope so. It's never good losing your hobby mojo. Having been there last year, and it sucked so bad. It was awful. I hated it. Charge is here. A gorgeous day here in the lakes. East Norfolk. Evening all. Lionheart. Don. It's evening all. Cold, wet, and windy in northwest Ohio. That sounds.
Oh dear. Lovely here, Don.
It's lovely here, Don. Don. It's really, really nice here.
Really
Chris Works, Andrew King, hi everyone from Germany. Jonathan Ward, Sonny Wessex. He's back thinking too many 20mm Germans tonight.
Sorry.
What's too many? Because we know some mad people that.
Yeah.
When I had that chat with McCrackon, he said the minimum he back paints is 45.
Unbelievable.
Trevor is here. Simon Stokes, Carl Burks, in another sunny evening in Estella West, very uncharacteristic. Jeff Allard is here. He's painting what Epic ACW when he fancies to change some 28mm Russian Napoleonics.
Nice.
Crikey, it's two extremes, right? 28.
Oh, 28. Sorry, I thought you said 20. Wow.
That'll be something different for Allard. Martin's here. It's a Scorchio Day in Jersey working his new project Baron's War.
Nice.
Which a slightly chilly Stratford. What's going on?
What?
There? I know. He's basing some early Saxons. He's here. Everyone calm down. The real Steve has arrived. Hey.
Right, we can continue.
We can now continue. The real Steve is here. Robert, first time catching live in a year. Or this year.
Oh, Robert. We need your notes.
Working on some 10mm Carthaginians and basing up some terrain. Jonas, cold and dark in northern Sweden, as it should be, apparently. Adam Kirtley, Red Steph. He's working on Soviets for O Group. Alex, Mr. Steel, is here as well. Hello, Alex. Hope you're doing well, mate. Mike Schubert, a still hot Western Cape in South Africa. The nights are getting longer each day. Ken, Eccentric Man, is here. He's painting hundreds. Yes, Ken. I saw your notification. Ken, looking forward to your video. See how you get on with those. Are you still painting hundreds of epic Romans as well, Dom?
No. I need to paint hundreds of them, but no, I haven't.
Yeah, just do what I did. Find a friend and farm half of them off on today.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
You could pay Ken to do them.
Ken pay somebody else to do them, for God's sake.
It's subcontracted.
Subcontract it out.
Probably about 75% the going.
I've heard about Ken's deals that he tries to cut when he's subcontracting his painting, and I think he could be add up for workplace malpractice.
What again?
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
Neil suffering that great painting burnout. Oh God, it seems to be catching.
Oh no!
Hope it's over soon. It's never nice.
Good.
Carazette, hi evening everyone. Hippo's Hobby Hours. Some 100 years war French on the painting desk, or packed to leave for the UK tomorrow. Hope to see some of you at Salute this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Good stuff. Major Clanger, Robin. Paul's paint shed. What Paul wears the Baron von Fancy hat for me tonight. Is that a drink or some kind of game that we should not know about?
Wouldn't that be a great drinking game?
Well, Baron von Fancy hat.
Yeah, you pass around the hat, and whoever ends up with it has to drink up and say they're Baron von Fancy hat or something.
You could combine Baron von Fancy hat with like Ye Olde Twister. That's a game there's no drawbacks there, is there?
No at all.
Nothing could possibly go wrong there. Steve Harper. Working on Bavarians from 4 base up to 6 battalions because 48 minis look way cooler. Okay. Wargamer of Kent. Don't forget, Alex is at Salute. He's on one of the panels. Robin Rose Hobden is here. Lynn Havard, Andrew Oates, Wout Hendrickson, Louis Baby, Shell Shock Scenics, Old School FRP, Sunny in South Texas. He's painting 45-year-old Raoul Partha Normans.
Oh, wow.
Man.
That's going back a bit. Have they been in like stored in some kind of Indiana Jones type vault for the past 45 years? Top men working on them.
They worth a fortune, like all those old GW stuff at that age.
I saw something today on eBay that shocked me because I used to own a miniature, and now I saw it go and it was 47 quid. I couldn't believe it. I wish I knew where mine was. I probably wouldn't sell it because I don't like selling things. It's good to know what crazy prices are being asked for these miniatures these days.
Yeah. True.
Nathan is here. He's painted Slanesh cavalry for his Age of Sigmar force. Noosphere, tough day in work, but he's relaxing with a Polish beer and some plastic crack. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Mark is here. Dave Benson, Dermot Connolly, Yorkshire Dragoon, Ho Tim, Marky Sparky, Darren Ling, hello from Kings Lynn. There we go. Popular to Miniature Kingdoms and Ely. Lovely guy. Good recommendation.
There we go. Look,
yeah.
I got my Miniature Kingdoms mug tonight.
Good stuff. Sorry, but James, your post last week about that note that you got from eBay had me in tears, man. That was so funny. I think it was eBay. Did anyone see James's post?
Yeah, I know who it was as well.
Yeah,
we all know who it was. He came clean in the comments, didn't he?
Oh, who was it?
It was Matt.
Oh, was it?
Matt.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't catch up on the thread after that. I just saw this thing saying how much, and I was laughing my head off. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Glenn Paint, Sam Rushmere, Dutch Army Painter, a sunny 50 degrees in the Netherlands. Mike Wayne, Hippo's Hobby Hours. Oh, I've said that. I was doing that thing. Andy Stocker, John Sowerby, Ewok Kebab. That's
Ewok
just
Kebab.
Ewok Kebab.
Great name.
Paul, say hello, Paul. Hope you had a good time at Deprecon. Any pictures you were having a whale?
It's going to cost me money. It's in the news tonight, but Paul's going to cost me money on Saturday. A lot of money.
The Miniature Painter, hello, Justin. Hope you're well, mate. Jonathan Ward, Mondo, 15 Mil Vikings, Steve Dyer. And he's managed to catch a live show tonight. Good stuff. A lot of people catching back up tonight. This is really, really good. Liz Pirate Painting. He's had 8 teeth surgically removed over the years. Over the last 2 years. Ow. That is
I think I made me.
And the same kind of number. It's horrible.
French Yellow Hay, hello Andy, Red Steph, and good stuff. Paul, fantastic. Like I say, every photograph you like you were beaming from ear to ear, and you were thoroughly. And that picture of you and Andy in that big chair was hilarious. That chair
was that was picture of the week. That one. That's brilliant.
Awesome chair. So, thank you to everyone who's joined us tonight. Like I say, pop your questions in the comments. Myself or my comrades here will star them, and we'll catch up with them in the second half of the episode. So, what's everybody been working on? Let's start with Martin.
I took a break from the multi-based miniatures. Hang on a second. So many bits in front of me. Right. So what have I been doing? So I was very lucky. And Graham from Grey Finale Games has sent me over. Where is it? Guards of Traitor's Toll, which will be there we are. Which will be coming up on the channel. But he's also he sent me that. He sent me the Busy Streets expansion. And some other bits and bobs. So I wanted to get on with that because these are those new Wargames Atlantic kits, the sort of the guards and the city folk. So as part of the first video, obviously it's having a look at things. So you get 6 guards on the sprue, and it is absolutely chock-a-block. Which there's a goose on it or a duck. I don't know why. This is on the guards. There's a chest. There's so many heads, just like all the Wargames Atlantic sprues of late. There's far more in here than you'll ever need. And the civilian sprue, I mean, there's stuff on here. I mean, I've just stuck one together, and I think I've made a bit of a wrong un because he's grinning, and he's got a sock puppet. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right? And I'm just going to leave it at that. So I finished my guards. So these are the first 6 guards that I've done.
Nice.
So yeah, a bit different. You can kind of go as crazy as you like with them, really. And I think I've probably gone a bit conservative with these, but I had an idea in my head of how I wanted them to look, and yeah, I was really pleased. So especially with this guy, I was really pleased with him. He just looks like he really wants to go home and finish the night.
Very city watching.
Yes.
That is very.
Yeah, they are absolutely. So yeah, and look, because I don't often get to paint the Beaufort livery, I thought I'd go with the blue and white. It's also one of that there is actually like an in-game. There's some liveries if you want to use them, so it matched one of those. So I did him, and I thought I'd do some little lighting effects on the lantern, which I was quite pleased with. So I did him. There he is with his crossbow mate. These are really, really nice little figures. And I had to use the sort of the Zweihandery chap, and then I was quite pleased with that. The sort of the female guard showing off the warrant of arrest. I guess that's my excuse to do the warrant and put a seal on it, so I didn't have to kind of try and paint someone's face for a wanted poster. So that was those. But yeah, really, really nice kits. The bases I do myself using Milliput and a roller, and these Wargames Atlantic bases are really good for them. So those of you who've not used them before, they've kind of got lips. You can either use them one way up and there's no lip, or turn them the other way up and they're sort of hollow. But if you fill it with Milliput and then just put the roller across the top, it's all right. And then here is the first set of townsfolk that I did. So this is Sinric the Fishmonger, I've decided. He looks a bit like Bill Sykes.
He does a bit, yeah.
But yeah, there was a fish on the spruce. I was like, all right, he's gonna have that. So they're really good fun. I thought, why not have a wizard just in the street? At the moment, I've just stuck together, as I say, some kind of guy with a hand puppet, a pirate, and some guy who looks like he's been down a mine. I don't know what I'm doing, but the way the game works, when you're patrolling, the basic game is just called City Patrol, and there are other scenarios, and you turn over these plot cards, and then it would want you to identify a suspect, and rather than say identify a predetermined one, there's actually like a chart. So you roll like a d6, and you go to whatever column 5, and then you roll another d6, go down column 5, and it will say someone with a blue hat. So if I'm one of your minis that's got a blue hat, if it doesn't have that, then you go back down, right, someone with a moustache or someone with that. So it changes quite a lot who the suspect is, or it will just say the character nearest a barrel or the character nearest the edge of the board, something like that. So lots of different ways to identify people. So it encourages you to make a wide range of characters. So I've been reading the book, and it's a lovely, lovely little book. With quite a lot in it. I mean, they basically say you've got wizards, scholars, and clerics, rogues, fighters, and ruffians, nobles, envoys, and bankers, workers, servants, and miners, traders, merchants, and cooks, and performers, dancers, and buskers. And with the amount of stuff you get on these sprues, I think you can pretty much make all of that and other stuff combined. I've seen some crazy things that people have done on the group. So that's mainly. What's that? When do we get the first give it crazy?
There's lots of comments around.
It's a really, really nice set from what I've seen. I haven't played it yet. I'm going to try to. There's a pity mission. There's a training mission, a mission 0, with some cards in there for you to walk you through it. There's also a lot of those cards that are like do not read, because I'm guessing some plot cards lead to other plot cards.
Right, yeah.
And so on and so forth. But it looks very interesting. It's got elements of Test of Honor and of 0-200 hours in it. Kind of brings it all together. So I'm looking forward to playing it. But yeah, that's really all I've been doing. That and moaning when I could speak about my tooth and getting sympathy for that. Tessa came up to me this morning. Actually, it wasn't this morning, just now. And she came up to me and she just, I'm not going to do it to myself, but she went like this. She went like that, like a bit. She went, oh, like that. Nearly shot out the seat. But yeah, no, it's been good. Other than that, I've been reading a lot of graphic novels and enjoying lots of other people's YouTube videos. That's what I've been doing.
Cool beans.
Good stuff. Well, hopefully you're coming out the other side with no, apart from being slapped in the face by your daughter. Apart from that, coming out the other side with no permanent damage. Dom, what have you been up to, mate?
It's been, I haven't done that much actually, but I've done a couple of things. So
yeah, but I haven't done that much. When it comes from your mouth, is slightly different.
Yeah, but
to other mortals.
I mean, I've done one army. Does that count? But I haven't actually done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a minute. So I collected out of a nondescript group of archers because I seem to have so many kicking around, but I realised they were all a bit early helmeted, so I've turned them into. I'll use them for the Bruce's in Ireland project.
Oh,
I think
You should have said you should have said that they were bespoke for that, and I would have believed you.
I would have believed you too.
They look awesome.
Yeah, are they a mix of manufacturers, or are they just?
They are. There's a couple of Claymore archers in there. There's the one right in the middle is one of those giants in miniatures, special miniatures.
Oh, right.
He's supposed to be a giant, but he's actually they obviously got the scaling not quite right because he's actually smaller than the rest. But there you go. And then there's Perry arms on Wargames Atlantic, peasants, and then some various other helmet heads from the I think from the Sergeant's box set. So yeah, real mixed bag. And I took Martin's advice about all peasants have to be very colourful, so I turned them colourful. There you go.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful. They are the fine-looking peasants.
There you go. Well, they're not really peasants, but they're going to be. They're just going to be a sort of a mercenary unit of archers for that. And yeah, that was. I quite enjoyed doing it. Haven't had a huge amount to paint, time to paint, so it was nice to crack that one out, which was great. And then I got around to doing the.
Yes.
Yes, that's
figure,
awesome.
because I just had it kicking around on the table, and I thought I really should do it, given the fact that poor chap passed away fairly recently. So yeah, not going to win any awards, but it was quite fun to do. And I tried to get some sort of shadings and color camo in there, but it's come out right. It will join my Second World War collection that never sees the light of day anyway. So, but there you go. That was fun to do. But the main thing I've been doing, I put a video up this morning, which actually seems to have been one of my most successful videos in a long time, which I was not expecting. It was rebasing a whole load of my old 15mm collection. So when I started an army, I sorted, but it's cheating. That's my 15mm Indian army from 30 years ago. 30 years ago. So I've been thinking about it for a long time. I had all my 15mm that I used to play with back in the day, doing 6th and 7th edition WRG rules, and I thank you, Andrew. And I just decided I'd start rebasing them. I might need more. Do you know? I said in the video I had even more elephants and even more chariots because we did a Battle of Hypaspis at Salute. Back in the day, it was still in the Kensington Town Hall building, and three of us put it on, and we did a massive refight, 15mm. It was originally going to be a demo game, and then we just turned it into participation. But I had the Indians, and my mate Nick had the Macedonians, and we had a great time. So this is what's left of them, and so it's just nice to get them rebased up. And I'm going through all my 15mm at the moment. In fact, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I've got a whole load of Bactrians here that I'm rebasing, but I suddenly realised that I do not have enough bases. So a massive order has gone into war bases to get more base, so I can manage to do them. But I'm quite enjoying it. It's nice to recycle old figures, and I think now that I've touched a few up. I've done a bit of wash, put some extra wash on them. It's amazing what a difference putting them on sensible bases. Nice bases makes huge difference, brings them to life again. So it's been I've really enjoyed it. So I'm working my way through, just in the back corner, all the blue trays there with the rest of them. Right. So I'm working my way through tray by tray by tray. Actually I'm doing army by army. I'm pulling them out, all the armies, and there's Dark Ages, Viking forces in there. There's medievals, longbowmen. You've got another Macedonian army out in there, and then there's all sorts in there. I mean, Byzantines. So I'm just going to pull them all out over the period of time and just rebase them up, and just some more that just it's going to be great fun, and actually brings back lots of memories, because those figures of, let's say, I used to play with them all the time. I didn't have that many armies back in the day, so those were the ones I played with, and I slowly built them up over time, and played a lot of competitions, a lot of fun games with them, and so it brings back memories. So it's kind of fun. I don't know what you guys, when you get those old figures out and you look at them again, you think, oh yeah, I remember those games. So much fun. So yeah, that's what I've been doing and continuing to do tonight, is all of them.
Good stuff.
What about you, mate? What have you been up to?
It's been a bit odd, weird, the usual. So I mentioned the other week that I'm currently using the touching on my.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, a special list beckons for you, Carl. A very special.
And can I say,
list.
Steve needs a little bit of special attention. If he thinks he loves charts, we're in trouble. Sorry,
yeah, so as I said, I'm currently using Space Weirdos to turn it into an Old West game called Old West Weirdos. And I was going through the stash the other week because I knew I had these somewhere. I've got some banditos. And the funny thing about these, I'll put them up now, is these were bought in 2007.
Right.
They
look awesome.
Oh, thank you. They're artisan. They at the time, me and my mate were pondering doing Legends of the Old West. So I did quite a big order through artisan. I bought these. I got some lawmen. I got some cowboys. So the lawmen and the cowboys were painted, but the banditos just they got put in a bits box, and that was it. And that I always remember they were delivered on the Monday, the day I got back from the Download Festival in 2007. That's how I remember how old they actually are. But I sat down and painted those over 2 nights. And they were just so enjoyable to paint. They're metal as well, Dom. They're metal miniatures. And
Mate, you make me so proud.
I enjoyed painting them. Just really, really. I mean, that whole range. I know Andy put it in my Facebook group, but the Wild West range from Artisan is full of characters. So many cool characters. In fact, I think I'm going to be putting an order because I took a look at their Pinkertons. And I really like the look. I really like the look at them. So I'm going to be using them for Old West.
I think I've had this discussion with people before. But I think artisan figures generally are some of the nicest and almost underappreciated range there are out there. Their sculpts are amazingly good.
Like I say, I mean, they've made it. They're from 2007, 18 years ago. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I painted them really relatively quickly. And so that I've also just been building up some of the female gunfighters as well from Great Escape. I'm really interested in this Old West Weirdos. I think it's definitely got legs. The games I've played.
Drink.
The games I've played have been really fun. The reload mechanic works pretty well. All the games have been really short and really brutal, and generally everyone ends up dead by the end of it. Which is the perfect end to a war game. Everyone's dead within 45.
That is your definition of a game, isn't it? Really good, really quick, and really brutal.
Yeah. And if it gets to 60 minutes, something's gone spectacularly wrong. But I've also been working some more on my 10mm stuff. So, like yourself, I put in an order with War Bases, and I had 100 40 by 20 bases sent to me. So I've got enough now to see me for the next few months. So I've been working on those. I finished another base. Oh, not though. I'll do the zombies first. So that's a base of zombies. They're just lovely. It's just so nice to paint. So they've been added to another unit. And then there are now 3 bases for my zombies. I finished my Wraith Guard or my Vampire Guard. So that's another 3. So these are all being based for. Got so many games, but mostly War Master because I've taken a shine to War Master. It really is a good game. But this is the one I sent you the work in progress last week. So this is the one. It's the 3rd hero unit for Midgard, and it's a Vampire S on a horse.
Fantastic!
I love that.
It's 10 millimeters.
That's amazing for 10mm. That's extraordinary.
And I spent about two and a half hours painting her because the sculpt is phenomenal. It's just a fantastic, full of detail sculpt. I even had to break out the 5-0 paintbrush to do her eyes and her fangs. I think you might be able to see him on that one there. So yeah, red eyes and the white.
You did eyes and a fangs on 10mm figure. I give up.
Yes,
I'll just park my brush now.
Tell you what, those magnifiers I bought the other week, they've paid for themselves by now. I wouldn't be able to paint these without those. I really wouldn't. They do help. But I've almost finished the undead army. I've got 6 strips of cavalry to do, and then I've got six bases of bats to finish, and that's it. That's the whole thing done. But I'm thinking of buying some of the files directly from Forest Dragon Miniatures and printing them myself, because because they do ghouls. I didn't come in the starter set that I got, so I'm gonna be doing gonna be looking at printing my own. But that's where I'm at. I've got some on the go on the table at the moment. There's so much. I've got more German stuff. I'm doing a German sniper team. I've got some female gunfighters. I've got some modern near future modern operators for rogue warriors. I've got some. I know it's a weird one. I don't think it'll ever finish though, because if I can print my own, because I want massive War Master armies, so I'll just be printing skeletons after skeleton after skeleton. I've got some Flagellant because I'm preparing for games of sword weirdos. I've even got, and I was going through my bits box, I found Lord Skrulk, which is a Skaven character I painted up in about 2002.
Oh my goodness.
Again, it's going to be used for sword weirdos. And oddly, just when you posted the charity miniature from Warlord, it was actually on my desk to do. So
nice.
Great minds think alike and all that jazz. So that's what I've been up to. Banditos and 10mm vampires and zombies. So it's been
a normal week in Steve Palace.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I'm just working on. So my desk's actually quite untidy at the moment. Dom, you'd be proud of me because it is,
done, mate.
It is really quite untidy, and I can't relax when it's like that. I'll have to do some work on it and start moving things away. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. So right, let's put the dealie back on, so we know who everyone is. There we go. And now we're going to start the Q&A. So I'm going to start with the Facebook group because there were some interesting questions. One may not get answered. Because should we start with that one? And are you just going to flat refuse?
Get it out of the way.
Get out of the way early.
Okay, so the first one comes from Keith. My question is, what does Martin have against Lion Rampant? I hear a lot of negatives, but no reason why.
I don't think I've actually said anything negative about it.
You haven't? I don't recall a reason.
I haven't said anything negative about it. My response would be go and watch other episodes. No. Otherwise, I find this, why don't people like saying, no, I'm not. No. Move on.
So close to saying something there. Do you feel that, Steve? I felt it was
like I said, when that was posted, I thought back. I thought, I can't actually remember.
I've not said anything negative.
I can't remember a negative being said. You just said it's not
my cup. It's
not your cup of tea.
Exactly. Just like Black Powder and Pike and Shot, that aren't for other people who are very vocal about why they don't like that. But it doesn't bother me. I'll play my games. You play your games.
Right.
It's a great thing. There we go.
So that was on the way.
Wargaming family, and we all love.
There we go. If you say to Dom, "Why don't you like SPQR?" We'll be here for 45 minutes.
Because it's utter garbage and shit. That's the starting point.
Now, if you came for the negative comments, Dom, the cup runneth over with negativity.
There we go.
Right, so that's Dragon Rampant at the way. On to the yeah, that's a bit
very true, Martin. Very true.
What's that?
It's a bit cruel talking about fangs.
I feel like I should have put the photo up on here, but it would have probably got Steve stream demonetized.
I don't monetize.
Did I send you? Which one did I send you? Did I send you the one where it just been pulled out?
Yeah, it was just a bloody tooth.
Oh, so you haven't got the one from the other side where it's got like a bit of my gum actually hanging off.
No.
I haven't seen that one.
Send it to Ken. He seemed quite enamored with it.
Yeah, Ken was very pleased with the dental talk, wasn't
he?
Okay, so this one got quite a few likes. This is from Yorkshire Gamer.
Oh God, I know this one.
So if it's Ken, it's going to be a complete humdinger of a question. Okay. Should executions for the use of factions in a historical war game be held in public as a lesson to all, or behind closed doors as we still have a civil society?
Do you know what? I thought of him straight away when, and I know it's in the news because Victrix announced this new set.
Oh, yeah.
And in there, you scrolled down and it said factions to choose from. And it was obviously it's a dark age, early medieval war game, and it has like the Saxons, Normans, and factions. And all I could think about was him.
He's invaded my side. It does annoy the what's-its off of me, but also part of me thinks, does it really matter?
No, because it's just used as a it's like people saying retinue.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. I mean, I agree. Every time I hear it, my teeth grate whenever I see anyone write about it or say it in a historical context. So I would be all there for the public flogging. But also I think, well, does it really matter? But
do you think that's it? It's a sort of a people who've done science fiction fantasy gaming. They've come to historical and they've just retained the term faction. Or is it?
There is factionalism in Wars of the Roses is factionalism. The Lancastrian party and the Yorkists and Nevilles. That is factionalism. But then it devolves into just injustice. But I don't know. I think it's just a catch-all term. It's like where people just got the term and use it, and it's
a lazy catch-all, isn't it? I think it's a lazy catch-all, and also probably gets around those complications of when what do you say a nation? Well, there's lots of different versions of Vikings. So is that three?
Yeah.
There were different Viking nations. So is the nation correct? I don't know.
I can't say I've ever used faction for historical. I use nation from just describing bolt action armies.
I've seen it creeping in a lot within bolt action.
Yes,
a lot of talk about factions.
That's because there's a lot of X40K players moving across.
Yeah, probably true. So. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yes, look, it's sounds like a US us GW converts retaining some of their jargon.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
You've triggered.
John got very excited. It's bloody matter.
You've triggered Robin. Look at Robin.
It's hard to disagree with that, though. They aren't factions; they're races.
Yeah, well, it's true. To be fair, he's absolutely right. But then, it's a lazy parlance, isn't it? Just like that.
Yeah.
So our answer is it should matter, but it doesn't.
It should matter. Well, I think it does matter. But if it's somebody who's coming into the hobby to play a game and they happen to use that, then I'm not going to flog them.
Well, God, no.
Just.
But would you point it out?
I see it or hear it, it does make me go. But
no, I mean, I'm not for or against it, really. Doesn't really, there's bigger things to focus on in the hobby than someone using the word faction. But Ken, when everyone gets put up against the wall, remember I was on the fence. So
you'll still shoot you.
He probably will. Okay, the next question is from Andy from the Hobby Support Group. It's a quite good one. Is it better to play the most popular game to guarantee an opponent, or the game you enjoy the most, even if it's not as popular amongst your friends?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Oh, I mean, I can just go back to my stock answer, which is if you haven't got people that play that get better friends.
Yeah, I was waiting for that from you. There's no such thing as a bad game. It's just bad friends. Is what
it's just the people you play with. Yeah. I would. You play in a club, Dom, so you won't necessarily. You've said before you won't. There are certain games that you're interested in, but they won't get any airtime, game time at the club, so you don't bother. Yeah. Which is so, but is it? Do you play any games that you don't like because not you don't like, that you're not particularly enamored with because you'll always get a game?
I have done, yes. the aforementioned Line Rampant. I'm not a massive fan of it. I don't hate it, but I don't particularly like it. But I play games of that because I enjoy, Alec down the club loves it. And when I've had a few games with him, we've had some great fun evenings of playing the game, but it's not particularly my thing. So yes, I have done that way around. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's like everything in life. You've got two choices, right? You surround yourself by people who love the same sort of things as you do, play the same sort of games as you do. But sometimes you do have to accommodate people playing something they really, really want to play, even if it's not really what you want to play. So I think, should you just do things you enjoy? And also, I think sometimes, you can get very hung up on not like it or think you don't like something, and actually play it a couple of times. You think, actually, this isn't too bad. I quite enjoy this. Or the occasion is really good.
No, I mean, like I say, I'd be prepared to game anything really, within reason. But I don't know. I mean, if I was, I'm not a member of a club, but if a club was predominantly 40k, would I collect a 40k army just so I could play? No, probably not. I'm not quite going to whack my kidneys on eBay to afford an army.
It's also, some games you can play quite happily on your own as well. So if you have the time and space to play solo, then there's always that option. But I'm a bit like you, Steve. I mean, I play pretty much anything, but I do know if I go down the club, there are certain games that everyone wants to play, and that's fine. That works for me. And even within the group, I'm going to use a faction. There are different factions within the club who like different things. So you know that if you're going to play with these group of people, they're going to play this sort of game. And if you want to play something different, there's another group that will play something different. So different faction. I think that's correct use of faction there. Just saying that.
That is the correct use of faction. It reminds me of a rock club used to be open in town that had two factions, and depending on what music you liked, depended on where you sat in the club. So the left-hand side was all like classic rock, and the right-hand side was all like new metal. It was weird. It was a very bizarre place.
On the same floor?
On the same club, on the same floor. Yeah.
Bloody hell. I used to go to a place in Nottingham called The Garage, and it had about 8 different dance floors, all playing different kinds of music, but they were all in different places, so that was easy. So if you're feeling a bit mopey, you could go off to where the Smiths would play, and if you fancied a bit of pogoing around, you go to where the punk was playing, and you could move around. It's great.
I was at the Cray in Liverpool. That was divided by floor, depending on what type of music you're in. I went there one time. Death metal on K1 and went upstairs to K3, and the Spice Girls were playing. It was quite bizarre.
That's a good answer from Red Sven. Opponents can make a game, but they can't rescue some rule systems. Quality, not quantity.
Yeah,
I think that's true. I mean, that said as that, I've had some really cracking games with rules that I don't particularly like, but if you're having a laugh and having the bants are good around the table and you're having a bit of fun and you're rolling dice and you're moving toys around, it's pretty good, right?
Okay. On to the next one. It's from Mark. Is the skirmish game becoming more popular because of time and space?
I would say yes.
Can we get a definition of what we class as skirmish here?
I was going to say that's.
There's always one. I'm just going to take the general, less 20 figures aside kind of thing. Yeah.
Can we extend that to small scale battles, or maybe about that?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, I am limited on not time but space. Small skirmish games are absolutely brilliant for me because I can play. I could set up a 2x2 on my painting desk, or a 3x3 in the living room. It's not a problem, and generally. Yeah, over pretty quickly. Like I said to Don before, for me, if a skirmish game is still going on after an hour, something's gone wrong. But I play really small scale skirmish games. But that for me, time and space is space being the main thing for me because I don't have much in here. So small scale is ideal.
For me, like many things, I would say it depends. So I think for me, when I think of a war game, I think of a big battle. That's in my head, and I think you go back to the sort of start of wargaming as a hobby. It was big games, big, figure counts fought across big tables, with sort of actually fairly pathetic terrain, but now it's quite good. But yeah, but I do think there is a propensity for skirmish or small scale games now that predominates the bigger games, and I think it is cost, it's space, it's time, all plays into that. But I think gross generalization. People can tell me to shut up in the comments, please do.
Brace yourself, everyone.
They usually do. But I think if most wargamers are honest, they would say they think of and like big games mostly. It's just maybe time prevents them playing them. But I think most people think of big games when they come to the hobby. And if you're going around a show, 9 times out of 10, it's the big battles that you stop and spend most of the time doing and erring at.
Like I mentioned in the episode a couple weeks back about changes in wargaming. That's been my biggest change, is the size of the game that I enjoy these days.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, back in the 90s, I used to enjoy massive games, all day games of 40k or something like that. It just but as I've got older, and my painting slowed down, I've got less space. It has sort of contracted. So skirmishes.
If you had as much space as you needed,
I think I'd probably
still do that. Would you move back to big games?
No, I think I'd probably still play skirmish games. Yeah.
So you're incurably skirmishable now.
Yes, that sounds terrible. It sounds like it sounds like a euphemism for hemorrhoids or something.
I think it's weird because I think a lot of skirmish games take just as long to play as big battles. To be honest, I find playing big battle games which have simpler, more abstract systems take a lot less time than some skirmish games. If you like, because in skirmish games, there are a lot more different. There's more action types because you're simulating everything a single person can do. Then there's often, because it's often sort of like random activation or drawing a thing out of a hat or whatever. There's a lot more bouncing backwards and forwards and reaction and reaction. And obviously, if you're playing just a big, like even something that's I don't know, like okay, Black. I can't really say about General Dame because I don't really play it or pick its charge. But I find that those games, the bigger games, you're like, right, this unit can do this, it can move, it can shoot, and then it fights in close combat. That's it. It doesn't have all these lists of options. I mean, the Ruckus game I just played ended up, the battle report was like 2 hours long, which is longer than most my large battle games. So I don't necessarily say they take more time, because people like to cram lots and lots of things in. I think that they're cool. Like this, something I did notice about this Guards of Traitors Told, this isn't actually marketed as a war game. It's marketed as an adventure game.
Really?
It's not. It's marketed as an adventure game because it's a semi-cooperative thing rather than wargaming.
Do you think part of the difference of where people go with their wargaming hobby depends on, again, their sort of early preference, where they came from? If they're really into or were into RPGs and that kind of thing, D&D and other things like that, you're more likely to head towards the skirmish. Whereas if you came from the 40k or the big Airfix games of the back in the day, then you're more likely to go for the big, that's your thing, is what you aspire to. It doesn't mean you got the time or the money to do them, but I'm just saying what you aspire to.
I don't know. I would not necessarily. I don't really know. I think it's well,
I hear what you're saying with the sort of skirmish. I mean, I watched your game today actually, and it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. And as you say, it went on and on and on for quite a long time. I hadn't realised quite how long it was until I realised I should have done some work. But you know, never let that stop me from watching videos. And but I think it was interesting with all because, as you say, there's such a story within it, and what have you. It kind of it's still a very impressive spectacle to watch and to play, but still, to me, I'd rather play the big game.
That's the thing, is because you're simulating sort of more choice. I think we talked about this before, haven't we? Like, you know, sort of I can't remember what we talked about. Sort of, I can't remember why we were talking about sort of modern combat kind of games and things like that. Is there's so many more options and things that you are trying to replicate. There's sneaking, there's cautious moving, there's movement, there's jumping, there's climbing, there's falling. You know, Dead Man's Hand deals with it in a very abstract, which is just if you can measure up, you go up. You know, if you can make it. But they made it a very point of that game is it's a very cinematic Hollywood Western kind of feel. So I wouldn't necessarily say that all skirmish games are simple and quick. In some ways, I think they're a lot more involved than because obviously in the big war game you're looking at things like command and control and those elements. But I can't remember what the question was now.
To be fair, when new rules are released now, they tend to focus, or what I've seen anyway, they tend to focus on the smaller scale games. I know like a few of the Blue Book ones from Osprey. They tend to be sort of not grand, encompassing armies on the table. That's going, you need 1,000 miniatures per side. But I just think it's, again, might be endemic of modern society. You know, that instant gratification quickly now.
Yeah, Lionheart makes a point. So I don't get why some people say skirmish gaming isn't proper wargaming, when in history skirmishes were far more common than the big battle, because most of the time commanders didn't want to risk it. Yeah, true.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, if you're talking about historical factions taking on each other, it definitely would have been the case. Much more skirmishing.
But again, I think we could talk from now until the end of time about what actually constitutes a skirmish game.
Yeah, true.
Most of the games I play are 4 to 5 miniatures aside. That's
that's proper skirmish, lad.
That's my ideal, my absolute ideal. Okay, great question. On to the next one is from Simon. Over the last 12 months, what in the hobby have you caught yourself being a total hypocrite about? E.g., a game that initially you say is not for you, but 2 weeks later is the only thing you're playing. I can't think of anything. I don't know.
I mean, it wasn't a game, but I did say I wasn't going to paint any samurai.
Oh yeah, that was
you did,
and then proceeded to paint samurai and actually have boxes and boxes of samurai to paint up still. But I don't know that I've played a game that I kind of go, I'm not. I don't like this. It's not like I've suddenly had a second coming on SPQR or anything like that. That's just not going to happen. So I don't know. No.
I'm just trying to think. Game wise, probably not. I don't think I've ever. I don't think I've ever really formed an opinion of a game without playing it before anyone says about Line River. I have played it, and that's why I have my opinions. I just. I'm sure there was something that I said I wouldn't try, and then I did, and then it was like a.
What was that beer Sam made us drink at Christmas?
Oh God!
I saw that. When I saw that, I said, "I'm not drinking that," and we ended up drinking it. So not exactly gaming hypocrisy there, but and I'm still suffering from it.
That was just peer pressure that you had to drink that.
But no, I can't think, because I mean I don't really have any sort of gaming boundaries. I mean my taste and choices, they change on an hourly basis sometimes. So there's nothing really. I mean, obviously, if you came to me at this time next year and I'm painting up some kind of Napoleonic army, that would be hypocrisy. But
yes, Mark, thank you for knowing me better than me. It was Zulus.
Oh
I
yeah,
said I wasn't going to do them. I was adamant that I wasn't going to do it, and then like a complete hypocrite, I did.
Andrew's just I said I would never paint a knight ever again.
Oh yeah, true, you did.
And I mean, I didn't paint very many, but I still did because I went back to that Lion Rampant project.
Yeah, true.
So Simon,
you're all hypocrites.
So Simon, who fielded the question, said his was Midgard. Just pixies and goblins, weird shit is what I said. I then played it 3 times the next month and really enjoyed every game.
I think, like you said earlier, there's genuinely nothing that I wouldn't try game-wise. I mean, even SBQI, if someone insisted I had another go at it, I'd have another go at it. I'd have to have an awful lot of alcohol to do that, but I'd still do it. So I don't know if there's anything I wouldn't give a go.
No, I'm
not sure I have any preconceptions of things. I just know I don't want to do that.
I think you'd have to be pretty adamant that you weren't going to. And the thing is, though, I think as gamers in general, we're quite butterfly-esque, aren't we? We
oh god, yeah.
Flip from one thing to another. Something new and shiny comes out, and all of a sudden you've got to have that.
Changing between games isn't the problem for me. It's sticking to a bloody game is the one that's the problem.
Being faithful to your game system.
Being faithful, yeah, you're right.
Faithful, yes.
Yeah, I am not faithful.
Oh, we've got another admission here from Don. Mine wasn't the last year. When Warlord first showed the planned epic scale ECW, I thought it was the dumbest thing I ever saw. Now I own every epic starter box except Ancient and have ordered AWI.
Yeah.
Brave to admit it, Don. Brave to admit it.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, Nathan's point. Yeah, we're all hypocrites. It's a rite of passage for us war gamers. Red
right.
Fan. I said I wasn't getting to the shatter point. Then the minis kept improving. Again, I just think, when was the last time a gamer made a solemn promise about anything, about not starting something or buying something or painting something and actually stuck to it?
Never.
Never.
Not
Never.
That
I can remember.
That would be like Ken saying, "I'm not going to sell figures." I mean, just not.
Right, so good to see some admissions of hypocrisy in the chat. Let's move on to the next one. It's from Carl. We are now entering the second quarter of the year. How are the project plans you had at the start of the year progressing? Has anything new and unexpected thrown the plans out? And have you abandoned any projects or plans from your to-do list?
Everything's going pretty well for mine. I've nearly finished my first chunk of Great Northern War stuff. I've just got a couple of units of cavalry to do, and that's it. And there's a unit in cavalry is only 6 models or 2 bases worth anyway. That's not particularly daunting for me. So they're going to be done. So I think the first quarter of the year and a sort of a first part of a project completed is good. I expanded my Arthurian forces to the point that I've got quite a large army now. I've got 2 old armies, not out of storage in the way that Dom has, but they've been on the shelf for a while, and they're going to get some table time. Just trying to think what else I've done. Oh, the Wars of the Roses. I got the whole division for the Wars of the Roses, which I realised Dom was painted an army's worth since Christmas. But
yeah, it was quite Christmas.
I don't think there's anything that I haven't completed that I wanted to complete. Some things that have been added to it is obviously Guards of Traitor's Toll. I've got a shed load of things to paint for Warlord. And sorry, I'm looking around. Oh yeah, I've got a whole Celt army to paint that's about halfway through. But apart from that, it's been fairly good. Oh, that's it. No, I haven't completed. Haley bought me the Lord of the Rings starter box for Christmas, and I've only done about half of it so far. And I wanted to have that done and have more games of that. So I need to get my arse into gear and finish off that. But yeah, there we go. What about you?
I'm I'm trying to remember what bullshit thing I said I was.
You just went Ottomans, just Ottomans.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing Ottomans, so I've kind of hit that one. That's okay. And I think I did say I was going to start on the Boers, and I haven't Boer War stuff for when they do a supplement, but I haven't started that yet. But no, I don't think I've done anything. I mean, there's been lots of side projects, obviously. Yeah. What did you have, Steve? Did you have anything particular?
A few things have slowed down. So my Midgard Vikings have slowed considerably. So have my Zulus. But I've dropped scales. I've dropped down to 10 mil, and I'm absolutely just loving it. I just love this scale so much. It's weird being able to say, "Oh, I've painted an entire army," when normally it takes me months or years to do that. I'm still working on the new bolt action German project. It's very kit bashed. So it's taken me a while to actually build them and put them together. I've actually
like that slowed down for you.
No,
you started that with a big load fanfare of excitement, and you don't. It seems to have slowed a bit.
It's because of this 10 mil stuff. I just can't stop painting it.
Right.
That's why when I was doing those banditos, it was just different painting 28 mil again. It's been a while since I painted that scale. So, but I've started a few new things. So this Rogue Warriors. I'm wanting to get a second faction painted up for that. So a few more things. These gunfighters for Old West weirdos. And I'm looking to start a third 10 mil army. I want a Bretonian army next. So no, nothing's really been parked or permanently. Just slowed. But I've not sacked anything off. I'm quite happy with my progress. Actually, I've been quite productive the past sort of 4-5 weeks or so. So yeah, from a project perspective, I am happy where I'm at.
Oh, hang on, the Yorkshire faction has entered the room.
I say faction, and Ken magically appears.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you got microphones in here, Ken?
I think he does.
That's worrying. Yeah, so I don't think. Oh, from all three of us, I don't think
we've been pretty good this year.
Pretty good, yeah.
So far, I mean, there's still a lot of the year left.
God, yeah.
And we got Salute coming up at the weekend. I mean, who knows what kinds of trouble we'll get
when we go to the news. Right, so Salute, I've already spent in my head about 300 quid on shit that I just don't. At least two of the things that I want to buy, I just have no idea what I'm going to use them for, but I want them. But the thing is now, because of games like Midgard, you're kind of like, I know something. There we go. There's a game. I can use pretty much anything in that.
Yep.
So, yeah. Oh dear.
I'm going into Salute with that famous phrase that I go into most of these shows with. I'm not buying anything.
I don't need much.
Last time I went to a show with you, you walked away with a whole Dark Age like pre-painted army that was like really high standard.
It was a bargain, mate.
No, I know. I'm not. Then
it was a bargain. I mean, that wasn't really a purchase. That was robbery. What can I say?
Well, Lionheart spent 50 quid already. He's got to pick it up from Great Escape Games.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple of pre-orders.
Is that the Peaky Blinders set, the new one, the Chicago way, the start set? I was looking at that because I was like, but it's terrain, and then I looked around. I was like, I've got all those 28 mil buildings, Dom. You know, the ones I printed off where it gets on failing. I was like, I know they're meant to be early 20th century France, but if we just ignore the French signposts on them, they could be Birmingham, right?
Yeah. Alex is taking the Yorkshire route. Now to part of my cup of tea or a sandwich. Okay. And that'll be about £30 there. How much? Right, we'll do one more quote. We'll try to get through two more questions before we go into the news. Next one is from Richard. Do you think that there is a rise in the popularity of smaller scales?
Yes.
No. I don't know that there's any more okay, clarification here. I suspect that there are just as many people doing smaller scale figures as they previously were. It's just that there's probably more variety in smaller scales. You've got the epics, you've got the 10 mils, you've got the 6 mils. You know, back in the day, you had a lot of people who played their 6 mil and they paid their 15 mil, but there still was the core of the hobby that did 28 mil. And I would think, in my experience anyway, put it this way, in my experience, probably the same percentage of people are playing 28 mil and other scales.
The hobby, the crowd has just got bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, I think there are more gamers as well. I think so. I think that has that effect.
Do you think the release of the Epic range has seen more people dip their toe into smaller scale gaming?
I think there's been more people try. I've certainly seen comments from people who said that their first foray into smaller figures has been those Warlord things, which is what I guess they were trying to do. Yes, we know that all these figures have been around for years, and no, but Warlord again, just have the box, it's easy, and but so I have seen comments about that. I've had comments on my videos about them as well. When we did the games day at Miniature Kingdoms, we had a lot of people turn up who who were thinking about it and they wanted to see it played, and they were playing games like 40k and or Bolt Action or things like that. So they wanted to have a look at it. So I'd say to a degree, yes. But the hobby's bigger. There's also more people playing Warhammer than ever before. It's isn't it listed in like the FTSE 100? It's like it makes more money than Marks and Spencer. You can't even compare historical gaming in terms of its revenue to GW. It's ridiculous.
No, it is.
So yes, I think as the hobby, can I change my answer? I'm going to change my answer and agree with Dom because he makes sense, and I was a reactionary fool.
Well, I think people
that, please.
I've just seen a comment, from Steph. So more companies do more small scale figures than before. So there's definitely a market for it. I can honestly say, if you'd have said to me sort of 2-3 years ago, you'd be painting and enjoying and loving 10mm figures, I wouldn't have agreed with you. I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. But the stuff that I'm painting, I just love it so much. It's just such a great scale, and one that I'm going to be looking at further. Whether to do historicals in 10mm, I don't know.
I think it's interesting, isn't it? I think the breadth of. So I think Epic has done an amazing job in terms of bringing people, as you said, Martin, from 40k and Bolt Action, who would probably not have touched historical gaming. I realise the irony of saying Bolt Action and then historical gaming not being the same. Anyway, but I think, and I think the beauty, if you like, of that is that, and the thing we don't talk about an awful lot with Epic is that you don't have to paint them. You can just put them on their bases and play games with them if you want to. So I do think that's been a great thing. I'd be intrigued to know how many people have stuck at 28mm, whatever it be, Bolt Action or 40k and Epic, and never gone any further, and how many have actually then gone, oh look, there's little 10mm fellas and there's 6mm fellas and there's a whole different world of smaller gaming and moving into that. I would probably think not, but that's purely based on my own gut feel.
The other day I spent a good 20 minutes looking at that 12mm range from Victrix for the World War II stuff, and I was like, I don't need this.
They are lovely.
They are lovely. And those the starter boxes they do. They're really nice. I mean, it's even talk about Games Workshop. I mean, even they went back to their small scale with Legions Imperialis.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've painted.
I have no idea, but yeah,
I painted half the box of that and I've yet to go back to it, which is a shame because I love.
I don't know. it's intriguing, isn't it? And I mean, also, if you think about smaller scale, there's always been a die-hard 20 mil.
Oh God, yeah.
The players, particularly amongst World War II players, that was the scale that everyone played it in. So, there's always been a lot of smaller scale players out there. Yeah, interesting. I'd love.
So
it will be interesting to see some of the shows. What people are showcasing.
Yeah. So Andy began with 6 mil. Now many games at 28. Thanks, Andrew. The 10 mil stuff. I'm very, very, very enamored with it. I just love it. It's just such a great scale. And those Forest Dragon miniatures are just so good. Again, it's good when you stumble upon a project you didn't think you were going to sort of enjoy. But I've since painting those orcs and goblins around Christmas time and seeing how fast I could put an army together. Yeah, I'm a very big fan of 10 mil gaming at the moment. Right, I think we've got a bit of news, so we'll go to news and then we'll crack on with some more questions. Brace yourself, everybody. Who's got what?
Chuckling away to himself.
I've got stuff. Dom has stuff.
You start, mate.
Yeah, I can start. Actually, I'll finish with one that leads into yours because
okay.
I saw that you missed it. So, there is a new book coming out for Flames of War, which deals with the Pacific theatre, and I know there's some Flames of War players in here. Put your hands up so Alex can see you. I do like their books. I've still got quite a few of these source books. They're always high quality, and of course, our esteemed colleague Steve used to write little bits of fiction for them.
I did
as well, didn't you?
Many years ago.
You did. So I'll have to go back through mine and see if I can find a Steve original in there. So yeah, that's up for pre-order now. We like a bit of Burrows and Badgers, don't we?
Oh, we do.
I don't know if you saw this. So, Salute is going to have the second edition, I believe. There, and there's going to be a deal to start Warbands. So there's a whole deal on it. So £100 gets you basically the rule book, starter factions, counters, a quick start guide, and all of this stuff. So his stall at Salute is always rammed, absolutely rammed. Might be going there early. These are the two sort of thematic warbands that they're releasing as starters.
They're new ones as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So they've kind of given them. They've you kind of got like a royalist kind of faction up there. Oh, sorry. Are they factions in this? They are.
I think they can be factions in this. It's fine.
Are they? They can't be race because they're all mixed. What are they?
Yeah. I think we go factions.
Oh God. Okay. This group of animals, and this group of animals, this collective, so they're over there. But look, have you seen the objective markers? So now you have to bring objective markers along. So they've got some here. Look, you've got the little you've got the mole coming out.
I love the mole coming back.
What about this one though? This one's grim. Look at the carcass.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
That's dark.
I really, really like that. Not the theme, not the dead mouse, although So that's it. Obviously that is at Salute, so go and check it out. Speaking of what else is at Salute, I think the Footsore store is going to get mobbed because obviously because I think they're right because they've got like Baron's War and all of that kind of stuff as well, and Hixie's Halflings. So Paul's still in the chat. Do you remember we were talking about these? Yes. They're at Salute. Look at that. If you want some Italian Wars Landsknecht halflings with a Witchfinder halfling and some halflings riding goats.
God.
I mean, I don't know why I need these, but I want them. I really want them.
I need to own all of these. They are so...
Yeah, well, there's a whole deal, Steve, where you can now I don't know if they've got the deals on the day at Salute. I know you can pre-order this bundle here, which is sort of almost one of everything. But they've got other ones on the website, which is like a whole cavalry thing. So it's like the mounted general on his goat, and then just loads of heavy cavalry, a lot of goats. So I'm going to have to steer clear of that stand because I'm going to spend a lot of money otherwise. But this is one of them. But that lot together there, I think it was about 70 quid. I think.
Nice.
Don't quote me on that.
They're all a lot more. That is.
They're
only half figures, Steve. They're halflings.
Well, I know.
They're very nice. If you go and have a look on the website, you can. Sorry, that is what? That's in dollars. That's not right. A feast of halflings.
I love the witch hunters and those cultist looking ones underneath. They're just...
That is awesome. They are awesome.
Yeah. No, they are very, very, very cool.
Just asking.
Well, he's someone did comment on that, saying, "Is there going to be a rocket launcher?" And he said, "If they sell enough." So you've heard it, people. Just go and buy. Just go and buy them. Just go and buy them, and you see a rocket. If that rocket comes out, I will purchase it and I will stick it together live, if you like. Live to see if the same horrific thing happened to me that happened last time. And then leading on, Great Escape Games have got loads of deals on. I do have a cannon made. Excellent. Everything's better with cannons. Everything's better with cannons. So Great Escape Games have got their Peaky Blinders releases, and I know Dom's got a few things on there. But I saw this and I'm buying it because I love this film. I want that set. I need that set. It's my favorite film. I need that set. I want that set. You can't stop me getting that set.
That's coming home with you, is it? Okay.
If I leave Salute with anything, it's going to be that. It's going to be that. I want it so bad. It's really. Have you seen the pose they got Tuco in? He's swinging the rifle. I love it.
Brilliant.
I absolutely love it, Vim. I love that film. It's been a while since I've sat and watched it all the way through again. I did try and get Haley to watch it, and after 15 minutes she told me it was one of the most boring things she'd ever seen.
What?
I know. She was like, nothing's happened. I'm like, it's like about 20 dead people already. Like, what do you mean nothing's happened? I love that film. I will fight him who says
the last time I watched it would have been last year, maybe August, possibly. But it was ruined for 25 minutes because some kid was banging a ball around a car park against a wall for 25 minutes, spoiling my enjoyment of a classic film. I'll have to have words next time.
I love that film. Everything about it. To me, it's basically cinematically perfect. To me, like the music, the story, the actor. I mean, it's just fantastic. Grounds for Divorce. I know. But then she played War Games with me, so I didn't know what to do. I was confused.
Yeah, swings around about that.
That's tough.
That's what I saw. So over to you, Dom.
Yeah, so I think leading into that, there was a couple of extra groups.
These are they're basically almost reinforcements, but they are new sculpts.
The new sculpts. So these are Buffalo Soldiers, I think they called this one, didn't they? Which looked really good. I like the. Has he got an eyeglass in there?
Yeah, he's got
a patch. I'm not quite sure.
A patch.
Yeah. So cool. And then there was. These ombres look amazing. I love the tash on that one on the right.
Oh, that's a
proper
tash and a half, that, isn't it?
Yeah, you probably get +1 for it in close combat with a tash like that. And then there were townsfolk as well, which I particularly like.
Yeah,
cool.
I just do you know what I love is that they are pushing their plastic kits, right? And they're really good, but they are still producing these sets in metal, and because their metal range was huge. Yeah. I'm glad that they are still doing that. I am. I think that's why not? They're fantastic. These are Great Escape games.
Yeah, they are Great Escapes. Sorry, yes, I should have said that at the beginning. They're Great Escapes. Also, where's it gone? Here we go. I think an under wargamed period, Spanish Civil War. So these are some new figures from Empress for Spanish Civil War.
That's lovely.
And they're great sculpts, aren't they? Really, really detailed and nice.
Very interesting.
So,
well, they are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very good indeed. So they're coming along nicely. Now, definitely not Doctor Who. Crooked Dice have Temporal Travelers.
Temporal Travelers.
Yeah, definitely not Doctor Who. Absolutely not. Which are pretty good. Crooked Dice, I'm going to have to go along to their stand on Saturday just to have a look at the stuff they do, because they do some amazing stuff. Always interesting. Now, the one that I think we referenced this earlier on, or I think Martin did, Victrix came out of nowhere with a new sort of Dark Age medieval skirmish game.
Yes.
Called Pillage. Which looks, I mean, it's a lovely looking book. Look at that. It's a proper hardback. Really good. And some lovely imagery. It is a skirmish game, or small scale combat game, shall we say. Don't know much more about it. And I don't know, were they saying that they were going to package these up with the required figures to play?
There's going to be, I think there's going to be a starter set or some deals, and I think there's going to be essentially army sets that you can order from them. So I guess that will have like a frame of their Huskars, two frames of the warriors, and a command frame from something else. So yeah.
Very good.
It's it'll be I'm going to be interested to see what they do with it. It's getting quite a crowded market. The small action, the skirmish, dark age things. So, but apparently it's been. I can see Robbins just said down there, and so is Daniel. It's been out in French for a year or two.
Oh, really? Interesting.
All right.
I didn't know that. I'm intrigued by that. Anyway, yeah, very good indeed. The May figure, one of the first May figures for our friend Reconquer, is the start of a line of 14th century Scottish pikemen.
Yeah, he's doing a Shiltron, isn't he?
Which I just think, oh my goodness.
Am I going to be? Are you going to want me to do some printing?
I think I might need I might need them to be printed. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
So this goes along with the Black Douglas, doesn't it? That figure that came out this week.
Well, that's out now. Yeah, the download's out for that. I've got him as well. I might just print him just for that. Do you want him as well?
Oh, go on then.
All right. Yeah.
Stick him on the order. Yeah, very nice. I just love the idea if he's going to be doing them in sort of multiple ranks, starting presumably with this guy at the first rank, and then it's going to be what a hedgehog that's going to be. I mean,
it will be. He's done. If you look at some of the other stuff he's done, I think the Saracen armies, he did a whole sort of, and those were just spears. Those were just ranked up spearmen. So having pikes is going to, it's going to be very cool.
Love this comment from Mike. Use a different experience visually compared to Spotify.
Right, I got it. Sorry,
the real thing, Mike. Well done.
Yeah. So that Feast of Halflings. Sorry, I've been looking, but for some reason I could only get the value up in dollars. So the Feast of Halflings deal. So all of those halflings that I put up before, if Dom doesn't, those ones. That's 77. For all of that, which is saving. It should be closer to 90, just over 90. Wow. So you're getting quite a lot. And then the Halfling Goat Cavalry Regiment is 50 quid, Steve, if you want a Goat Cavalry Regiment, which has got all the goat cavalry you could ever want.
That Goat Cavalry.
That's a phrase you don't hear very often.
No. There's not that's a phrase. There's nothing wrong with the phrase goat cavalry. Ticks all the boxes for weirdness.
Oh dear! Now another one got me very excited. It's still churning them out. Crusader.
Oh yeah.
Via North Star doing these, continuing with their boxer metal figures. So this is I forgot the name of it now, but it's a bloody big musket, isn't it? But it's yeah. I've got loads of these in my army already. I'm going to have to get some more because that model looks absolutely fantastic. Really, really good indeed. Nearly there. V&V. They've just been showing off some really nice new models of theirs. So, Indian War Elephant in 28mm. Anyone?
Oh, nice.
I
turned it to my last one.
I'm sure that's what they're very pleased to hear. They've also got a chariot, which I love the pose of the archer. I think that's really cool. Very nice indeed. I don't need any. I've got 15mm. It's all fine. And then a Roman Onga in 28mm.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
It's an early one as well.
Yeah. Yes. Very good. And for some reason, the other picture I had here of the new army painter, Second World War paint has dropped off. But yeah, I think they're available at Salute this week. I think they're first up.
I think so, yeah. There's a lot coming out this year. I remember last year there didn't really seem to be much actually getting released. Not the last one. There wasn't sort of anything.
Nothing.
There was a lot of announcements. That's where we first saw the Punic stuff, but it wasn't actually released at Salute.
Yeah. So they're coming out, so we'll look out for those. Are they completely new paints? I think they are. They're just not packaged up in a different way. I think they're completely new, part of the Fanatic range, I think. So, which I do quite like actually. And then finally, for those who love the rampants, I'm looking at you, Martin. There's a new dragon.
What are you talking about? That's what I thought we were going in a very different direction.
There's the second edition of Dragon Rampant
artwork. That's very
brilliant
cool.
artwork.
Really like the artwork.
Classic,
reminds me of classic AD&D.
Yes, very much so, isn't it? Yeah, I think this is not out until October or something, but
it's October.
Be ready for this, but yeah, love the fact the artwork is out. Looks
Martin,
amazing.
Can you see that artwork on an album by 3 Inches of Blood?
Yeah, Advance and Vanquish, absolutely. Do you know, for years and years, Deadly Sinners was my ringtone because it's the only I could hear it over the machine. Well, I was, when I was on the site, I could hear it. And I've just got Tessa, my 8-year-old daughter, into 3 Inches of Blood. She likes is it Kill the Orcs? So kill the orcs, slay the orcs, destroy the orcs. Tom, when you finish this, until you've heard Cam Pipes scream it, you need to go listen to Deadly Sinners. Just go listen to the song Deadly Sinners. Okay. In fact, I encourage everyone to go and listen to Deadly Sinners.
Deadly Sinners. Okay.
Right. I mean, it is a song about if you don't like heavy metal, how they're going to find you and
hunt you down.
But yeah.
I like it. All right.
Yeah.
That's it. I got.
Good stuff. Lots of news. Lots of stuff coming out. It's going to be tell you what, people's wallets are going to take a beating over the next sort of couple of months, aren't they?
Robin says he feels like he's at a sheltered musical upbringing. So, okay, so we're going to Salute together. If you can give me control of the of the music on the way there, then you probably won't want to share the car with me ever again.
At the weekend, I introduced my better half to the joys of cattle decapitation. She was laughing.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, some of the bad names are amazing. Dying Fetus, that's a good one.
Oh, they're absolutely love them. Great band.
Holy smoke! You lot.
It's
interesting.
Right, moving on.
Moving on to the news. If I can get my mouse working again. Oh, come on. Okay, right. Next question. So we've got quite a few. We've got a few to get to on the Facebook group, then we've got some stars. So we're going to fly through these.
Cool.
Oh God, my mouse is funny. Right. Okay. One from Steve Harbour. What is a terrible game or game concept that has promise, and how would you fix it?
Say that again.
What is a terrible game or game concept that has promise, and how would you fix it?
Ooh. Game.
Ooh, tricky. I'll give you one. Bolt action. Brilliant concept. Needs to be a bit more regimented in terms of historical accuracy.
And more emphasis on officers and HQs.
Yes. And correct factions.
Correct factions.
That's tricky, isn't it? I can't think of cold. I can't think of anything. If I'm honest.
There was. You really liked. So, Steve, you really liked the concept of a war transformed, right?
So
how would you fix it? Just take out the transformed and just have World War I.
I mean, so I was the first one that sprung to mind. I don't know, because it'd be difficult to. The concept was good until the book arrived. I know that sounds really harsh, and I don't mean it to sound that harsh. It just wasn't for me. It just wasn't. It was odd. I've not jumped on the hype train since, because that was hyped. I had it one of the quickest Amazon deliveries I've ever had. And what I normally do is I normally sit down with a cup of coffee, cup of tea, and get a new rule book, and I just sat there and I was like, so I don't know how that could be improved.
Isn't it sort of any rule set that you think the promise looks good enough for you to buy a rule set, and then you play it or you watch it and you think, nah, not for me. That kind of fits in their category. I mean, I could say SPQR on that basis, but also things like V for Victory or 5 for Victory or whatever that rubbish was.
Oh, careful.
I bought the rules because I thought I liked the premise of it. It sounded really cool, and then I saw a game being played and sold the rules immediately. So I thought that's not my thing at all. But I think there's something in those sort of rules that I think, but personally, just didn't do it for me.
James. So it was the same. The North Star artwork had me hyped. The book was sadly just really, really not for me. Yeah. No, I had a bit of a conversation with Andy, and he was the same. Bought into the hype. I struggled. I really struggled. Normally with rule books, I get, you sit down, you read them, you get immersed. I couldn't. There was just something about it. I just couldn't. I couldn't get into it. And it's a game I know. It's just a game I know I'll never play. I'll never play it.
Do you know whether that game? There was a lot of hype about it. A lot of Facebook posts, a lot of comments around it. Does anyone know, or are you still on those Facebook pages where people were talking about it, and has people just dropped it now completely, or is there a sort of die-hard group of people still playing it?
It's been a while since I saw it on. Maybe it's just the circles I hang around in.
Yeah.
Given my choice in music, that doesn't probably not a surprise to anyone. But I've not seen it. But before that, it was on loads of groups on Facebook. I'm on. Like the Grim.
I remember that because you see that quite often with we're very good at hyping up a rule set. Not us particularly, but wargamers generally get very, very excited about whatever it is. Everyone's talking about it, and it seems like every post you see on Facebook is somebody showing off their army for insert rule set here, or terrain that they're building for it, and then a few months later it disappears and you don't really see anything. I'll give you another one. Infamy was another one.
Yes,
yes,
huge amount of hype around, and I think I personally found it really hard to play. And I know most people I know who bought into that have moved on to other things and given up on it. And I just wonder whether there's still die-hard factions playing things like that, and War Transformed, SPQR out there still doing it.
It is weird. And the thing for me is, like, when that happens, the time and the effort that people have sunk into those rules, especially War Transformed, because that was written by one dude, one guy by himself writing that. So fair play. It's a massive achievement.
And also, I guess for that sort of thing, at least, because it is fairly bespoke, it's hard. If you don't like a set for ancients, for instance, there's 500,000 other rule sets you can turn to and use the same figures for and probably the same terrain for. It's not such a big thing. But for something like that, there isn't really anything that obvious to transfer to if you spend all your time building an army for it.
Steve's had a good idea. This could actually be a subject for a whole episode. So we'll certainly consider that moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next one. Let's get some quick fire ones. One from Ray. If you were writing a set of rules for medieval or dark age warfare, what would be the key concept or driving point?
Over to our colleague in the corner there.
If I was doing a medieval, oh god. But see, this is the problem: is that a lot of people, I think people have an idea about medieval warfare, but don't actually really understand medieval warfare. I think I think Alex would probably say the same thing about World War One, which is a lot of people have an idea about how in their heads, very clear idea in their heads of how World War One was fought, and actually it doesn't really compare with reality. And that's how I feel about medieval warfare. In some ways, medieval warfare, it can be quite dull in reality, because it is just two sides smashing into each other. There are a few set piece battles where there's quite a great maneuvers, but a lot of the time it's just I think one of the key concepts you've got to get over in medieval warfare, which we have a real problem with wargaming, is units were mixed. You didn't have, obviously, you'd have your pikemen together, or you'd have your spearmen, but a lot of the time you'd have sort of heavily armored people mixed in with lightly armored people. You would have levies. This idea again that levies didn't really know what they're doing they made up most of the armies. Of course, they knew. They were trained. It was the law. You had to be able to raise a levy that would fight, or else you'd find yourself in deep shit. I guess for me, one of the key concepts, would probably be around army building. I quite like pre-game sequences, but I wouldn't want one that bogs the game down, and I wouldn't want one that would have someone. Like loads of troops leading the field. But I guess I'd like a muster system. I think mustering your troops. I mean, I think you'd almost need to create, if you could create a character like a lord, and then you kind of bring your armies to you with a core. I think army building would be a big one. Deus Vault, which I've still got to play a game of, and I really want to play a game of Deus Vault. That's kind of got you actually roll up some very quick characters for your people to actually see what you can do. But I think how you muster your armies, because a lot of the time in medieval battles, the battle was pretty much won before it even started. In a lot of battles, it was a foregone conclusion. So I think if I was good at it, it would be about how armies are formed. That's the key concept you've got to get around with medieval warfare is forget what you think you know about how medieval battles are fought, and actually understand how a medieval army is put together and how it fights. You don't have kind of loads of heavy cavalry going around the side and then charging into the side. That doesn't happen a great deal. Most of the time, everyone just gets off their horse and walks slowly into the other force, and then they mash up. When you see those reenactments and people are kind of cantering in, that's probably more likely what they were doing, and then getting off their horse and having at it,
and then committing thuggery upon the nearest.
But when you say it like that, you're like, and you've lost half the people, because a load of people don't want to do any kind of RPG elements in the game. They want to just get on and have a game. So
I can say, from a simpleton like me, my perfect medieval battle is big boys with plate and mail armor smacking each other with 200 axes and swords, and bowmen pinging arrows everywhere. But then I'm simple like that, and lots of color and banners. That's it.
Yeah, yes. Lots of cannons and colours and banners
shit out of each other. Yeah. I love that. It's great. And knights, great knights, love it.
Yeah,
sorry, good stuff. So Ray, I hope that was informative for you. Next one from Jonathan: mixing miniatures from different manufacturers in the same unit, yes or no?
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
never understood this fixation there is with, does this scale fit with this scale? It's like, have you seen people? They're all different sizes and shapes, and Christ knows what else.
I would argue sometimes there's a difference in quality that I might not want. For example, putting a bloody mini next to a Perry mini is so oversized. I don't think they can actually go together. The bloody minis are so chunky and they're beautiful, and the Perry minis are beautiful, but like they're almost. It's not the heights that are the problem. It's kind of like because the guns are almost bigger than the Perry guys themselves. But broadly, yes, I think there's heights and sizes. Yeah, we're all I've got front rank, Perry, and Warlord all mixed together in my Napoleonics in my units, and Victrix actually. But that was before Victrix solely had this kind of slight scale creep. Their Napoleonics fit very, very well with Perrys. They're very. See, I'm saying they fit well. What I mean is they're broadly. You don't go, hang on a minute. It's like a crenellation between the top of the hats. Up, down, up, down, up. It's not like that. But yeah, absolutely. The only thing that would stop me would be quality. I guess.
Yeah, I think that's entirely fair. I think quality is the one that I would probably limit me to what I would use. But then there's nothing to stop you having one unit beside another. So not mixing them, having two units on the same army that are from different manufacturers. Yeah.
Without naming any names, would you have a potato-fisted miniature next to a bloody miniature or a reconquer miniature on your, if you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. No, probably not. But then I would also, mind you, I think I have that. Actually, to be honest, I think I probably have. Yes. Can I scroll that all back? Yes, I have. Now I think about it.
What about you, Stu?
Yeah, I would. Except this, I'd say I wouldn't mix when it comes to ball tax. And I thought over World War II, I wouldn't mix Perrys with Warlord. The size difference, the proportions are just too different for me. But if I was doing something, pre-World War II, dare say, medieval, I'd be happy to mix in, manufacturers, miniatures all over the place. I just think it's a good way of giving a bit of representation. Like I said, not everyone's the same height, so it does work. But yeah, I would do it. Hope that answers your question, Steve. Okay, up next is that was Jonathan. Steve's question is next. Do the actual rules of a game matter, or is the experience the game provides more important?
Oh, I was about to say.
Where are we? France.
I was just about to go yes, and then that bit, the second part, kind of. Does the experience matter? I mean, to get the experience. So you want the experience of a Napoleonic battle, but the rules could be crap. Is that
That's the gist, is it?
I think my first experience of that was when I was at the club when I was growing up. When we played that Vietnam game, Body Count. Those rules were horrific, but we had a really good. Every time we played, we had a good. I mean, we had a good GM talking us through it, who knew the rules inside out. So that made it slightly better. But I remember looking at the book, and it wasn't fast paced, but the actual outcome and the fun we had actually playing the game was worth it. From what I remember, it's been years since I played Body Count. It was a bit clunky and it was very, very chart heavy. But no, I remember it was we all every time we only played it, I'm gonna say maybe 5-6 times at the club, but we always enjoyed it, despite how clunky it came across at the time.
So I think for me, if the rules are rubbish, but you have a laugh doing it and everybody enjoys it, then I can handle that. If the rules are rubbish and you feel the game is just unbalanced or there's something seriously wrong, either you can win so easily that it's just no fun at all, or you lose and there's just God knows no chance of you ever winning anything, even an objective, achieving it or any sort. Then that frustrates the hell out of me. I hate that. It really puts me off a rule set. I refer you to my SPQR experience. I do think that I'm not averse to playing a crap set of rules if you have a laugh doing it and if it's fairly even. kind of fun thing to do. You feel like you're all got an equal crap chance, and that's fine.
Martin, anything from you?
I mean, I'd always give a game a try. I'd always play a rule set. I don't know if I'd go back to it because I don't know if I'd have as fun the second time round knowing it's crap. I think it would irritate me too much. I think part of the fun of it would probably be like, oh my god, this is ridiculous, but it's funny. And then doing it again voluntarily would be, stupid. So I guess I'd say that rules do matter.
Yeah, they do matter, but yeah.
But yeah, the experience is great, but I don't want to. Will you relive that experience a second time, knowing that the rules are going to be shit?
No, because
you see what I mean. Like everyone, yeah.
It would go from crap, but we had a good time, to it was crap, we didn't have a good time.
I'll give you a really good example, and I used to play obviously loads of role-playing games. I've talked about it before, and we used to play a lot of the Middle Earth, the MERP. We used to play a lot of D&D, and then we tried MERP. And that first game of MERP was just so ridiculous because you were like rolling to move. It's like I got a stitch and like collapsed before I could even attack the guy, and it was so funny. And it was brilliant. And then we played it the second time. Like, actually, do you know what? This is really tedious. I just want to go in.
The funny becomes really annoying.
Yeah. So I think it was. So yes, to a certain extent, I would say the rules matter more. The experience of playing something. I've never met that person who says, "Oh my god, this is so shit. Let's play it again."
Yeah.
It's not like a movie where like this movie is so bad it's good.
Actually, if I'm going to take it to the video game world, Goat Simulator. That's.
Do they have heavy cavalry?
Well, the Goat Simulator games, it's broken. I mean, Goat Simulator 1 is just full of bugs, but that's the way it was meant to be released. And it is bad, but it's so enjoyable. It's nothing funnier than you can take you can do exercise and get a really beefed up goat, and then you can jump on trampolines and wreck rooms. Just saying, that's my analogy. Goat Simulator. I think they're up to Goat Simulator 3 at the moment.
Good. I'll go and check it out after the stream.
Just goes to show you how popular being a sociopathic goat you can actually be.
I'm sure there's a metal band.
There's Goat the Head.
Right. So no, that's it. No, there's. So yeah, it was Goat Whore was what I was thinking of. There's Goat Whore, Goat Horn, Goat Semen, Slow Goat, Milking the Goat Machine, Goat Inferno, Sabbatic Goat, Goat Ripper, Goat Torment, Dehydrated Goat.
Dehydrated
Goat, Goat Throne, King Goat, Blasphemous Goat Vomit. I'm not even saying that next one because you'll get taken down. Goat Wizard, Goat Piss, Dixie Goat, Funeral Goat. I'm just gonna stop there. Goat Bog.
What the heck is this stream all about tonight?
I don't know. Let's move on.
No, can I do this one? Thermonuclear atomic goat.
I need a T-shirt with that one.
I think the drugs that Martin's been taking for his tooth is clearly having an effect.
They're from Switzerland.
That surprises me. Okay, up next is one from Mike. Can you always put a finger on that you enjoy or don't enjoy a rule set? Or is it sometimes just yes or no gut feeling? And does it matter?
There are rule sets I have played where I just doesn't do it. And I don't know what it is about it. And I wish I do, because then I would be able to, put my own little rules in place or what have you. But yeah, there are definitely rules that I have played where, despite the fact everyone else loves them or what have you, just doesn't do it for me. Just doesn't, and I don't know why. But yeah, definitely have been.
I like this question because I was reading about goats. Sorry. I was reading goat bands.
I was reading about goat bands.
Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat bands. Goat
Oh, Jesus. What about you, Steve?
No, I mean, again, going back to War Transformed. I mean, like I say, I didn't play it, so I couldn't really put my finger. I mean, I can put my finger. It just didn't. It didn't grab me. I think just initially perusing a rule book can do that. If it doesn't grab you by the throat and slam your head into the wall, it doesn't. It's not. I don't think it's going to. I mean,
the problem is there's so many options, aren't there, that you kind of almost start thinking, well, I'll just go and do something different then, because there's other things. I think we're probably less tolerant as gamers than we probably were in the past. You might be prepared to stick with a rule set, work it through, and check it out and see whether it does the right thing. But now it's like, fuck it, we're just going to play something different then.
Well, no, because I mean, I mentioned before. I mean, the fact that you can have a rulebook delivered like instantaneously, Wargames Vault, or the next day through, next day delivery. Yeah. If you don't like that rulebook, you'll be like, don't like that, I'll get another one. So there is that instant sort of. It can be replaced very, very quickly.
We want instant gratification.
It is, yes. Martin, can you put your finger on why you don't like a rule set, or is it just a gut feeling that you're not going to like it?
I don't like. I don't like rules that think they know the subject better than you. that's that annoys the piss out of me. But I guess you have to remember that you're not necessarily, as we're all. I don't want to say experts in an era, but as we all have our preferred eras of historical wargaming that we tend to know a lot about because we've read a lot, and we're not obviously the target. We aren't going to be just Joe blogs. So that might be that's probably. What don't I like the rule set? I can usually tell fairly quickly if rules are going to be for me. I guess I don't like stuff that's oversimplified. This whole streamlining that annoys the piss out of me, because I've often found now that streamlining is a term that's used for lack of content, or you get into situations where like, well, what do we do now? We don't know because it's been streamlined, so there's no answer, so we end up making something up. So I just, it got to be some meat on the bones, right? You should be able to, an index. There we go. I want an index.
Examples are also critical.
Yes.
You don't have examples to explain. Badly play tested, no examples and no index. That will piss me off right away.
That'll do it. That's the holy trifecta of how to crap war game. The last one, I don't know whether Matt's being serious here, but what faction is your favourite in any historical war game? Matt, I'll refer you back to Ken's question at the beginning, if you don't want to be put up against a wall in the very near future. Right, let's try and jump onto some of the ones quickly that we've been starved for tonight. Trevor, what product is best to strip paint off plastic and metal minis?
I used the stuff. Oh God, what was it for cars?
I did hear people say Detox is good.
I've not used that. For metal minis, I used the stuff to get to strip cars. That's how I stripped all my old Warhammer miniatures before I sold them on eBay. I just put them in a big Tupperware tub filled with this stuff. Came back about 2 days later, and all the paint had just floated off of them.
Trevor, that sounds like that sounds like the one for you. Ken, when painting Warlord epics, do you paint them on the sprue or take them off?
I do them on the sprue, but I do cut
well.
The support bits off of the shoulders. I cut those bits off and paint them on the sprue.
I take them off and stick them on lollipop sticks in rows of 3. So essentially, I'm painting the whole row at the time.
No, I do what Dom does. Not on the sprue, but they're only connected by the little knobby things at the bottom.
Yeah,
just so I can handle them easier. One from Darren. What do you guys think of the computer rules, mainly Carnage and Glory? That's a new one on me.
I haven't played computer rules for Wargaming for as long as those 15mm figures have been sitting in my cupboard. I don't honestly know any that what people play, to be absolutely honest, Darren. Sorry.
I might have to do some research.
I'm afraid I can't add to that.
I can't. One from Dave Benson. Each of you give me your least popular wargaming hot take.
Least popular wargaming hot take. I can't even think what a hot take in wargaming would be. We're not.
No.
That would assume that we kind of there's trends and things that everyone jumps on. I'm not sure.
I'd need a bit more time to think about that. I'd need more
me
time.
too.
Yeah,
sorry,
me too. I can't really think of
sorry. Yeah, sorry. I can't think. I need more
time. How do you find the bespoke mini? Search your chance.
Bespoke minis, as in ones that are designed for you, or just ones that are a bit different?
Is it how do you find the bespoke?
Yeah.
minis?
I think where he lives in Perth, they don't have the breadth of manufacturers or shows.
I tend to have a search first to see if someone's making what I need, and then if they don't, I then start having to think about what is available and what I can use to represent that or kit bash or convert. So I search first of all, quite heavily actually.
As people who know that watch anything on this channels and my channels generally, I spend an inordinate amount of time looking at figure manufacturers and different toys that are out there. So generally it's those searches, but I do find for 28mm, I've got it's a bit old and a bit out of date, but there's a blog that I found that gives you every manufacturer that produces ranges in 28mm for all different historical scales, which is my go-to. There you go, put it in the chat, for whatever you want. Some of them a bit out of date, but it's a good starting point. But Google is your friend.
Google's definitely your friend. Right, two more, then we'll get onto the more fly through some viewers' pictures. So a question for later: is there a game period you have collected and enjoyed that 5 years ago you wouldn't have touched? For me, everything.
Everything isn't Second World War.
Considering 5 years ago I painted 99.9% World War II. Everything, absolutely everything.
ECW for me.
Burrows and badges for Dom.
I haven't played the game yet, but I've thoroughly enjoyed the figures. Yes, so if that counts, I'll take the badges and burrows. I've only ever done pure historicals, really. So there.
Okay, and the last one from Tony. So if you attend Suit next week and could buy only one thing, would it be A, Burrows and Badges starter set, Guards of Traitor's Toll, Plastic Perry Spanish Brigade, Baron's War 2nd edition?
Well, I got the Guards of Traitor's Toll, so I can knock that out.
B&B 2 for me.
Yeah, Burrows and Badges 2 for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be probably
only because
Baron's
I've got
War
loads of Spanish, so I don't need them. But I will go and say hello to the Perrys if they're
there. See, you're saying Boris Rossi. I would say Baron's War for me.
Really?
I'd say Baron's War. Yeah. I've always teetered on the edge of doing Baron's War, and I don't know what it is that stopped me. I've even got some. I bought some supplements, some of the digital material. I've just never done it, but I think a starter set could push me.
Cool. Right, that's why we're going to get you drunk at lunchtime. You're going to be buying that.
They're not got it for sale, are they? I don't think it's for sale, actually, is it?
I think it might be.
I don't know.
Oh, no. Oh God.
Yeah, I think it might be, mate. That's another one for you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. Big thank you to everybody for your questions. They were quite interesting.
Yeah, good.
Questions. Just buy a bigger suitcase.
Yep.
A good mix of wargaming chat and odd band discussion.
I'm going to send you links to all of the goat bands.
Good stuff. Right, let's have a look. We're going to run these pretty quickly. So first up is a bit of weird shit to start off with from Alex.
Nice.
Which is a Black Templar Blade Guard. That's lovely.
That is wicked. Do you know what? That might be one of the best poses I've seen the Space Marine in for fucking years.
Yes. It looks rather.
I really like that. I do really like that. That's awesome.
Great stuff. Up next is Andrew with a bit of a World War weird.
Was that Alex? Did you say
awesome.
To be fair, I did think it was Alex that posted these, and then I thought, no, it's not going to be Alex. But they're fantastic. I really do like them.
Fantastic.
Really nice stuff. Edward with some Adeptus Mechanicus.
Oh, I saw that. looked awesome. And the thing on its shoulder, I thought that was on his wall. I thought that was like a plate or something on his wall. I didn't realize it was the weapon that was attached to that. That's ace. That's awesome.
That is so cool.
That is.
I love the dust on the base as well. That is really
the weathering pigments are lovely.
Really nice. Jonas has been working on. He's been redoing his gaming table for naval games. How cool is that?
Oh wow! Oh yes, I saw him post about this. That's ace.
That is, yeah. I just love the effect. It's better than a bit of blue felt. Anyway, that is brilliant. Something I've seen recently, and Kelly's done these, is people using other manufacturers to be used in the old world. So he has used some Wargames Atlantic Conquistadors as Empire Greatswords. Yeah, for the old world.
They're lovely, really nice.
Beautiful colour. I love the beards as well.
Oh yes, Empire Greatswords, and accompanying them with great beards as well. Nick has, it's a Warhound.
I mean, that's ace. I mean, that's not really a tactical rock, is it? That's a tactical house.
That's a tactical house. How long did that take to paint? Because that is huge.
Wow.
Lovely colour on the blue, though. And the weathering, again, spot on.
Wow.
And the stripes on the leg, just great stuff. Paul has been painting some moonstone. This is Friar Flavius.
Oh yes, all this. Yes,
that is brilliant.
What I love about that is the belly button. I know it's such an innie.
But when he posted up in my group, I was like, the flesh is brilliant. It absolutely nailed that. Great stuff. Up next is Rory with some Swiss 3rd Regiment 1808. He tell you what, he does paint some cracking Napoleonic sort of.
Wow. Yeah.
If you don't watch his videos, make sure you do for painting tips. Fantastic.
Absolutely
brilliant stuff.
The amount of white on show there does give me chest pains.
There's no drummers though. You're fine.
It doesn't matter. It's just white. There's too much of it. Sean has been showing off his. He's got 1 or 2 15mm armor. Just 1 or 2. Look at that.
He's recreating the whole Weimar army.
He's going 1-to-1 at this stage. They're all 3D printed as well. Because there's everything in there, isn't there?
Sheesh.
Really, really nice stuff. Who's next? Warren.
Oh my god, I saw these. Oh my god. I know this sounds weird, but they are possibly the best looking skeletons I've seen. They are phenomenal.
I want to know what Warren is on. I mean, it just A, the subject matter, and B, the painting skills. Jeez.
Oh god, it's just a separate fucking. Sorry, there's a separate space on this.
The speed that he gets through stuff as well, just brilliant. Wow. Stefan's been working on a few bits and pieces, but this is a 1/700th HMS Spartiate.
Oh wow!
A lot of rigging going on there.
That gives me chest pains. That's amazing.
That is stunning.
And this is why, right? This is why. So I can appreciate that. That is amazing, and that is why I will never do it, because I know that I will never even be able to. That's just amazing.
It's been 6 years since I did those 2, and I've still not recovered yet. Just the thought of trying them again. Ships. It's a cracking boat there, isn't it, James? Cracking boat. Ashley, these are the 2nd Brigade of 2nd Division. The full name. But they're French, I think. They're French.
Yeah, they're French. It's got the company pom-pom colours as well. Good man.
I noticed that as well.
I thought you did. I'll get in before you said it.
The first thing that jumped out. They look really nice. Again, you've got some brown trousers in there as well. Good man.
Wow, the bouncers are going up against the 95th. I was going to say
someone's firing musket balls at me. Yeah. Connor has been doing some US Marines.
Oh, nice.
I still maintain that plastic US Marine kit by Warlord is one of my favorites of all time. So much cool stuff in there. Yeah, really good. I think this is the last one. This is Pat, he's been painting some demonettes.
Of course, yeah.
Cool. The weird thing was,
that was classic.
The weird thing is, he said he wasn't happy with the paint scheme. I painted some demonettes back in about 2013, and I chose pretty much exactly that scheme. The only difference was the claws and the tails were a bit pinker, but the actual skin tone, I used that. It was weird seeing it. I was like, have you been sneaking in my bits box? Because I used exactly those colours. And there we go. So again, big thank you to everyone that's posted up in the Facebook group. There's a link in the description down below. If you want to join the Facebook group, we've had some interesting applications over the past 7 days, shall we say.
Quite a lot of 3D sculpture people lately, which I'm having to warn off. So reminder, no selling, please, on the website.
If you're on there purely to sell your wares,
there's plenty of places you can sell.
Yes.
Not on ours, thank you.
Like Dom said, just answer the questions. It takes about 10 seconds. It's not difficult. It really is not difficult at all. So I think have we got something for next week?
Yeah, here we are. So next week we're on my channel. And I thought it would be quite fun. I was actually inspired by Dom's video. So I had to put a list in here just because I want to have a chat about what's the best army, the best build, or the best you've done your best list. So Steve, you've got your bolt action ones. You can do it from the list thing. I know I already just, but what's that best build? Have you got one that you took to a tournament, not getting rid of that, or you took to a game and it just worked perfectly? What was it? What are the fond memories of it? Was it building it? Was it gaming with it? What was it? Is it, or are you bringing it out of retirement? Like Dom's got his Indian stuff that he's bringing out of retirement. What is your best army build or list that you've done, and why? We could also do there what's the worst. But it's open to everything, so that's across historicals, fantasies, and everything. After that, there is no stream because it's bank holiday. We don't stream on bank holidays because we'll be too busy throwing up. And then at the end of the month, we are with Dom, and we've got another guest.
Yes, we've got Matthias, who's one of the original founders of Adepticon, which was one of the biggest shows in the world, wargaming shows. So he's coming on to talk about how it started, plans for the future, and what it takes to put on a shitting big show like Adepticon. So looking forward to that.
It's going to be very cool. It's going to be a busy month. But Dom and I are going to be at Salute on Saturday. So you'll see us mooching around. So if you say hi, come and say hi. We'll be there. If not in Salute, we'll be at the bar bit outside, probably commiserating about the amount of money that I'm going to spend.
I'll be laughing at Martin, the amount of money he's spent.
I've just spent.
He always laughs at me.
I've had a few messages, and I'm going to be spending a bit more as well.
Good.
Oh god.
Good.
Oh god. But yeah. Oh, just before we go to, can I just say, anyone who's interested in basing pigments, this new set by Gamers Grass, which I bought. Well, actually, no, I didn't buy it. Someone bought it for my birthday, so I didn't get given this. Well, I got given it, but I didn't get given it by the. You know what I mean? This is awesome. This set, the pigments in here, they are absolutely cracking. You get 9 of them, right? And I've been just testing them out and trying them. You get a little booklet if you don't know how to do anything with pigments, and some recipes in there for your own fixes. They are awesome set. So I've been using them on these Guards of Traitors Toll minis, and yeah, really nice. Anyway, there you go.
Good stuff. Right, again, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be over on Marshall next week. Have a great week. Don't forget to post up your pictures in the Wargaming, in the PCP group. Check out all the bands that we mentioned tonight, and then immediately erase your browsing history.
Sinners, that's the one, isn't it? I've got it lined up for now.
Thermonuclear atomic goat.
Yes, don't forget that. They're not seen on top of the pops. We will see you all next week. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good week. See you Saturday.